What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to another magical Free Friday. That's right, hit the subscribe button for what? How many? Hundreds of free harmonica lessons and a new one every single Friday. If you dig what I'm putting down and you like to support the cause, hop over to Patreon and become a Patreon patron for a little extra content, mostly me talking about me. But other stuff too, secret stuff. Today, I'm doing an updated version on the Harmonic Minor Scale. Now, I know that you can play this same scale in 5th and 4th position, arguably easier, but we're going to do it in 3rd because I think it sounds better. That's why I think that. Why? Because I'm a blues player and I like to throw in some little bluesy stuff. So here's a little demo of kind of what the scale sounds like. You'll dig. Again, I'm using a G harp. I switched out of my Golden Melody to my Marine Band. I just like to sound better. Tom Halchak, Marine Band Deluxe. I'm going to just play the scale octave to octave in the 1st octave only. Here we go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Slower. You hear how good the scale sounds just by itself in sequence. A little faster. That's the 1st octave. Let's hit that 2nd octave. Now there's an overblow and an overdraw in there. If you can't overdraw or overblow, don't worry about it. You can still solo in this scale without those notes. You also have all the notes down bottom, so you can just use them there. Here we go. Octave to octave in the 2nd octave. Here we go. Starting on 4 draw. Okay, there's the scale. Let me kind of show you. I'll just solo over this little Django groove right here and give you a little idea. So 1st chord right here. So I'm just playing triads. Check out my videos on triads, on minor triads. Now the one on the E minor chord or the 5 chord, that is a major triad. That one right there. All of those notes are in this scale. All right there. So once you get them, even if you don't know the chord changes, you can just start playing around in the scale and start having fun right away. Now the hard part is staying in the scale. It's not hitting that 4 blow. As blues players, we're so used to hitting that. Now it's a flat 7, and there's nothing wrong with it. But when you hit it, you'll take away a little of the ethnicity, that gypsy, bohemian, spooky vibe. Here, I'll hit it a little, and you can hear what it sounds like. So it sounds fine, but it sounds a lot like a blues player playing over this music. Here it is without it. Stuff like that, okay? Stuff like that, right? Just learn the scale and try to stay in it. Here's a couple of fun licks that you can do right away, even if you can't overblow. One draw bend. One draw bend to one draw. That's that major 7 in that root. That gives you so much of the spooky sound, right? Now you want to avoid one blow too, right? Then we're going to go up to 2 blow, 2 double bend. So then I'm going to go to 3 double bend to 3 half step bend. And then 4 draw bend, 4 draw. And then you can use 2 draws of passing note just on the way up. Not even a passing note, just a note. And you can do the same thing for a little bit without the overblows in the second octave. 4 draw bend, 4 draw, 5 blow, 5 draw. And then we're going to go out of the scale a little bit and put in 6 draw bend to 6 draw, okay? I told you, as a blues player, I wanted to play a little blues. What note do I want? The flat 5. I'm going to avoid this flat 7 because I don't want to lose the ethnicity of the scale. But that flat 5 just adds to that blues too much to ignore, for me anyway. And then you got these cool double stops. Those little partial chords, those dyads they call them. You can use this scale on blues too, not just on gypsy jazz, okay? So I can put it in anywhere I want. I want to be careful with it. I don't want to be real show-offy with it. The temptation is going to be show-offy. Now, it's okay. You're probably going to use it a little too much in the beginning. Certain music is made for it, and certain music will allow it, if you know what I mean. The music that allows it, you just want to throw it in. Even T-Bone Walker was throwing this stuff in way back in the 50s. You can play it through an amp, too. It doesn't have to be acoustic. Here we go. Start off with some minor triads with a major one on the 5 chord. Anyway, just notes that are in the scale played at the right time over the chords. If you don't know how to do that, check out my video on minor triads. Of course, the last triad in this is a major triad, but you don't have to worry about it because, like I said, it's just a note in the scale. So as long as you're playing in the scale and not going out, you can't do anything wrong. Not over this song. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. On the 1, here we go. Little soloing. over there, right? So subscribe to Quist's YouTube channel for just so many beautiful, wonderful backing tracks from a wonderful person, Mr. Jacob Quistcard. Here we go. We're going to play a little blues, regular blues scale in third position, and then we're going to decorate it, just embellish it with a little bit of this crazy, wild, haunting, spooky, gypsy-esque harmonic minor scale. So I'm just going to start off with some blues. I'll let you know when I put it in. Now I'll throw in a little of that harmonic minor. First a little blues. Back to blues. Harmonic minor. Back to blues. Pretty cool. So you get an idea. All you got to do is learn to stay in the scale. Once you learn to stay in the scale, you'll learn to be able to go out of it, and you can start putting in all kinds of different scales and chromaticism and blending them all together. But before you do that, you want to make sure that you can play only in whatever scale you decide to play in. Doing that for long periods of time will familiarize the scale with the chords so you know where to go and when. So you'll be developing your arpeggios, or the knowledge of where the arpeggios fall, or maybe where they don't, in every single chord change. Not only that, you'll be disciplining yourself to not hit certain notes for blow at certain times so that you can hit other ones. How about a ton of delay? Little blues again. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. So today was kind of a tough lesson. This is a hard scale, and I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning, but maybe not the easiest position to play it in. I do think it's the best sounding position. Sometimes on this instrument, the hardest things in the beginning are the things that sound the best later. Like just a 3-draw bend. At first you might be like this, right? But then after a while, the parts that are the toughest become the easiest, and they become the best sounding. Sometimes the more pain we have to go through, the stronger that makes us, and the most beautiful things come out of that. The most decorative, exciting, confident things come having been through something difficult. The important thing is for you to remain patient. And don't look at me and think, well, geez, I was in a 15-minute lesson and now I can't do it. Get what you can. Remember, there are hundreds of these other lessons. There's even another harmonic minor scale lesson. It's just not as complete as this one available. Take what you can and learn. If you just get the blues part first and you just start playing blues over gypsy jazz, well, then that's exciting too. That's fun. Just because you can't get in some of these overdraws or overbends, or maybe some of the weird bending from 3 double bend to 3. It's very, very hard. It's very hard to go from 4-draw bend, 3 half-step bend, 3 double. It took me a lot of practice, even after I had been playing years. But you can do it, and you can do it quicker than me because you got me and you got other people like me out here helping you. Those are benefits I never, ever had. Remember, again, the important part is to grab something that you do think you can do and shed that over and over and over again. Back when I was a little kid, I used to take lessons from this guy named D.W. Gill up in Maine. Check him out. He's here on YouTube. D.W. would allow me to come over to his house, and I'd go up this little set of stairs in Waterville, Maine, and I'd sit there. And D.W. wouldn't even ask me to play. Never. I think later on maybe he asked me a couple, but the first few times I went over, he didn't even ask me to play. I sat there for an hour, but I brought a tape recorder. Well, what I did was I took that tape and I studied it. Not for months, not for years, but for years and years. Some of it I understood, some of it I didn't. I came back and then found out a year or two later, I was ready for this. I was ready for that. You can do the same thing with these videos, but letting them play when you don't understand and saying, instead of getting scared and saying, I can't do this, I'll never be able to do this, that's too hard, or I don't even like this, making a judgment that you don't like this, I don't like gypsy jazz, I don't like jazz. Maybe it's too early to make that judgment. Maybe later this music will speak to you. I used to not like any other music except for blues. And that was all I had room for. And I'm really glad I went through that period where I was just focused on one thing and able to concentrate on it. But as I got older, as I moved around the country, experienced different cultures, different people, I started falling in love with more styles of music, in particular jazz and Latin jazz and funky jazz and Afro-Caribbean jazz and New Orleans music and rock and blues and all of that stuff. All of it became one big giant melting pot of just soul and art and expression, just different ways to express yourself. So anyway, express yourself to yourself by being nice and being kind and being patient. Stop those words in your head. I'll never be able to do this. I'm no good. I'm not as good as him. Guess what? You may never be as good as me, and that's okay. You can be the best version of you, and all you really have to do is try to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. And if you're not, because you took too much time off, well, then get back there and then be a little better than you were the day after yesterday, tomorrow, whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Stay tuned for the credits. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Jason Ricci's YouTube channel. 16 years of incredible YouTube harmonica-related content. That's right, 16 years. At this point, over 500 free instructional videos. If you're interested in what kind of harmonicas I play, microphones, amplifiers, pedals, any harmonica related products, please check out my sponsors. These sponsors in one way or another also help keep these videos going. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Blue Moon Harmonicas, bringing you the best in custom harmonicas. We got custom cover plates, custom combs, you can get your name put on it just like me, reed work, refurbished pre-war marine bands. Look at that, they put the little brace there, no more crushing the covers. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, the very best in pedals, microphones, almost anything you need for your amplified harmonica need. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, right here out of Ponchatoula, Louisiana. We got you. Harp gear, amplifiers. They got big ones, they got small ones. You know what they sound like? They sound like the best tube amps on the market. Harp gear amplifiers out of Ocala, Florida. Pedal pad, pedal boards. Incredible custom pedal boards built to last, made by two brothers who really care. Hohner Harmonicas. A Mooncat loves the Hohner harmonica. I like the Marine Band. I get Tom to put the little special 20 cover plates on it. He tricks them out, but they play great right out of the box. All of these sponsors are linked below in the description box. What else is linked below? Patreon. Consider becoming a Patreon patron. You'll be supporting me. You'll be supporting the cause. You'll be keeping these videos free for everybody. And you'll get a lot of extra content over at Patreon. You'll get vlogs, occasionally some extra lessons, some posts that you might not see on Facebook. A lot of stuff that I can't say or won't say here on YouTube is over on Patreon. I love my Patreon family. You guys are the best. If you're not into the monthly subscription, you can also give me a one-time tip at Venmo or PayPal below too. I'm a touring musician and I play all over the country, really all over the world with all kinds of different acts. Check out my website, www.mooncat.org. In all seriousness, YouTube, Patreon, my sponsors have absolutely changed my life. Subscribe below, set reminders for the videos. Don't miss any events. Every single Friday there's a free harmonica lesson and a lot more. Even if you're just subscribing, you're helping me a lot. Those of you that are joining me on Patreon, you guys are helping me to make better decisions with my career. In all sincerity, thank you so much, YouTube, for just an incredible outlet. It's a video diary. I get to look back at 16 years of these videos. I had a lot of new friends, some really fine musicians, made some great contacts in the industry, and it's all because of you. Thank you, my harmonica family.